Thank you, Claire. Okay, good morning, everybody. I'm absolutely thrilled to be here this morning. And as Claire was saying, listeners are very, very lucky because this is the first time that children anywhere in the world have listened to me reading That Dog, because it's not out yet. It comes out next month on August the 6th. As Claire said, I do love cats, so I've had to close my door because I keep getting interruptions from my cats while I'm in here. This is my studio that I'm coming to you today from. What I thought would be lovely this morning, I'm going to read That Dog, and then we're going to do a step-by-step drawing tutorial. I'm going to teach you how to draw some of the characters from That Dog. Okay, so as Claire said, my name's Emma Lazell. I am an illustrator and an author. I'm in my studio. It's a really rainy day today. I'm in my studio in Coventry, in England, where I live with my husband and my 2 cats. And this is where I do all of my writing and all of my drawing. I've had to tidy up today to come to you because usually it's got paint and splatters of ink and pencils and absolutely everything everywhere. So I've had to make it look a little bit tidier so that you can see me amongst all the paints and drawings. Okay, so That Dog. Now I'm going to slow down a little bit as I read it, and what I'm going to do so that you can see all of the illustrations in between each page, I'm going to hold it up to the camera so that you can see it nicely like that. Now, if you do have any questions, I know this is coming out live to some of you, and then some of you will be able to watch it back. If you've got any questions, pop them in the comments box, and then hopefully I'll have a chance to answer those at the end. Okay, so That Dog. This is Penny, and this is her new assistant, Pat. You can never have too many dogs, smirked Penny. This is Tiny and Woofer and Bingo and Thor and Trixie and, oh, I forget, and I still want more. I've spotted a new dog in town, said Penny. He's a bit different from the other dogs. He's quick, he's clever, he's a master of disguise, and he's very good at problem solving. That dog is the one I want next. It's time for your first job, Penny said to Pat. Get me that dog. Remember what he looks like, spotty all over. Pat was eager to please. How hard could it be? Spotty all over, spotty all over. Aha, there you are, spotty all over dog. But the dog Pat stole was a bit wiggly and a bit squiggly, and before long they were both a bit tangled. No, groaned Penny. That isn't right. Far too curly, far too long, and far too much like a snake. That is not the dog for me. Remember what he looks like, spotty all over with long floppy ears. So back Pat went. Spotty all over, long floppy ears. Aha, there you are, spotty long-eared dog, grinned Pat. No, moaned Penny. That isn't right. Far too hoppy. Far too fond of carrots and far too much like a rabbit. That is not the dog for me. Remember what he looks like. Spotty all over with long floppy ears and an even longer tail. So back Pat went. spotty all over, long floppy ears, even longer tail. Aha, there you are, spotty long-tailed dog. That must be the dog for Penny. Ta-da! No, 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 no. That isn't right. Far too scratchy, far too hissy, and far too much like a cat. That is not the dog for me. For the last time, Pat, the dog I'm after is Ding Dong. That dog. It looks like Penny and Pat won't be getting any more pooches after all, thanks to that very clever dog. The end, and the newspaper reads, "Dog nappers finally caught. That dog is a hero." Breaking news, cat nappers on the loose. The end. Now, I hope you've all enjoyed listening. So that dog will be coming to shops and available on the internet as well on the 6th of August, but it's available to pre-order now. You can find that dog on Hive. I always say go independent. So if you've got a favourite independent bookshop, you can hopefully find it there, or Amazon or Waterstones or Foyles, available to pre-order now. So here comes the really, really fun bit. And as I said, you're super lucky because you're the first children to be hearing me read that dog. And now I'm going to teach you how to draw him. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to do a step-by-step drawing workshop. And then if we've got time, I'm going to show you how to draw some of the other characters as well. So all you need is something to draw on. I've got some paper in front of me there, and something to draw with. So I've got my favourite, this is my favourite drawing pencil. It's teeny weeny because I've used it so much. I've got another pencil, and I've also got my dip pen and ink, which is what I like to draw my characters with. But you can use anything at all, anything that will make a mark on your paper. Now, when I drew that dog, I had to practice drawing dogs lots. Oh, I don't think that's showing up on the camera. There we go. Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots. But I'm going to let you into a secret today. I'm going to give you some tips and tricks to get your dog drawing just right the very first time. So let's move these books to the side. Okay, so I'm going to draw nice and slowly for you, step by step, a drawing of that dog. Okay, so we're going to start with his head. Okay, so everybody ready there with your pencil or your drawing implement, your thing that you're drawing with. So we're going to start with a triangle without a bottom. Okay, so mine's sort of not too pointy at the top, a little bit curved, but it's a triangle without a bottom, like that. Now you should have, I don't know if you can see this from the camera, this is my piece of paper, you should have quite a bit of space below your triangle. So this is the start of his head, but we want to fit in his whole body, so you should have quite a bit of space there. Then next we can add in that dog's ears. Now he's got long ears, a bit like a spaniel. I don't know if you noticed, any dog lovers out there, but that dog's a mixture of lots of different types of dogs. I took all my favourite dog breeds and mixed them up to create a brand new character, a brand new dog character. So he's got spaniel ears, he's spotty like a Dalmatian. I wonder perhaps in the comments if you notice anything else that reminds you of a certain dog, do tell me. So we're going to add on his ears. So I've just done a big teardrop shape there and I've shaded it in. So nice and scribbly. Now what I usually do is I go over it with some black ink so I don't fill in all the holes. So we've got a triangle with one teardrop shape coming out the top there. And then what we're going to do, we're going to do exactly the same the other side. Now bear with me, this is a bit tricky on my easel over here. I'm sort of drawing half upside down. So we're doing another teardrop coming down and we're just going to roughly fill it in like that. Don't worry if you're leaving some space in your colouring in. So we've got two long teardrop shaped ears coming out of the top of that triangle shape. And again, we've still got lots and lots of space below. Okay, so I'm going to draw in that dog's eyes. So one of them is sort of hiding slightly below his ear. And if you'll notice, that dog's got an eye patch. Now, I always have to check which way round the eye patch is. When I was illustrating this book, I found that in all the pages, I was drawing that dog with an eye patch on a different side each time. So I had to go through and correct it so that I made sure his eye patch is always on the right side. So his eye patch is on the left side, silly me. You can see why I had that problem. So there we go. Shade that in around it. It's got a sort of black spot over his eye, a black eye patch. There we go. So we've got one eye half tucked behind his ear. And it's a nice big oval shape. He's always got very big open eyes because he's always on the lookout, isn't he? He's always on the lookout for mischievous things going on. Just how he caught Pat and Penny in the end, isn't it? So we're going to draw a pupil in there. Now, you can move these around to make your character look in whichever direction you would like. So I'm going to pop the pupil over here. He's looking towards me. And then let's draw another one in. So the same shape, tucked slightly behind his ear. Pop in the pupil. That black dot there. And they're facing this way, so he's looking towards me at the moment. Okay, I'm just going to give you some time to catch up. So we've got two teardrop ears. We've got two big eyes. We've got an eye patch on one of them. Next step, we're going to draw in his nose. He's got a very long, pointy nose. Make it as long as you like, but it's an upside down triangle. An upside down triangle, again with no bottom or top. So imagine a triangle on its point like that, and again nice and rounded at the end. And we're going to shade in his nose at the end there. So shade in his nose, got a big black nose. There we go. And then give him some little dots. These are where his whiskers come from. Little dots going all up his nose. And then we're going to draw in his body. Okay, so we're going to bring our triangle lines here and here down slightly, like this. Okay, so they're coming slightly below his nose. And then we're going to draw in his front legs. So they're quite long. He's a very tall dog. So I've done one line, diagonal line coming straight down. And I'm going to go round to make his feet. So we're going to go round like that. And then another line like that. It's making his paws. One more. And then we're going to go back up. Oh, I've made his leg a bit too skinny there, a bit too thin. It's a bit tricky drawing on this easel like this. There we go, we're going to go up, not quite as high, like that. And then we're going to do the same at the other side. So leave a little gap and go down. We're drawing at an angle. We're diagonally coming in slightly. Can you see? Let's stop a bit to let people catch up. So we've gone down. We've gone around, around, around to make those paws. Back up a bit, not quite as high. And then we've done the same the other side, down. And we're coming slightly inwards at the bottom there. And we're going to continue that line. Now try and make sure your feet are the same size. I know that I'm going to struggle because I'm drawing sideways, because I'm drawing on this easel. So down and around, and around, and around, and back up like that. And again, make sure this next line comes to the same height that that one did. Go down and join up to your feet. So we've got two front legs. We've got the top of him, his head, his ears, his nose, his eyes, but he's not looking quite right yet, is he? He's not looking quite right at all. So we need to draw in his hind legs. So we're going to go back up, sort of not as high as his nose, slightly higher than where we came out for those legs, and we're going to come diagonally outwards slightly, like that. And then his hind legs, his back legs, are bent. So we're going to go all the way out. And back in. So again, you can see it's almost a triangle, this time facing outwards. Or it sort of looks like I've just given him maybe a big bottom. I haven't, it's going to be part of his leg. Okay, so we've got a line coming down, then we've gone out and in again. And then this is where we draw his back leg. So make sure it's higher than those front legs. We're going to come out and do the same thing as we did for those front feet. So out and round, and round, and round, like that. And back up. And there we go. A sort of very faint line there to show where he's bending his knee, and sort of a bit there. And we're going to do the same the other side. So think about where that last line came from. Mine came from about here, and we're going diagonally outwards. Make sure you've got plenty of space on your paper to fit this in. So out again. This is really tricky for me. I'm going to stand up so I can see what I'm doing. Out again and in again. And back out for the foot. Make sure it's higher than those front feet. I know I've come down a little bit too low because it's quite difficult drawing from here. There we go. So round and round and round to draw in those toes. We've had lots of practice at drawing in those toes now. Do we call dog feet toes? Do we say that dogs have toes? Maybe a dog lover can tell me. And then we go back up like that, and sort of a little line there, and maybe put in a faint line there to show where he's bending. Okay, so now comes the fun bit. We're going to give him what makes him stand out from other dogs? We're going to give him his spots. Okay, so I like to make them really scribbly, absolutely everywhere. As many as we can fit in. There we go, perhaps one on his foot there, one up here, one there, maybe one there. There we go, have fun with it. Draw as many or as few as you think he needs. Perhaps you could make that dog stripy instead. Perhaps you could change him up a bit. I'd love to see some of yours. Now, I bet you're all at home in your seats screaming at me because there is one very important thing that I have forgotten to give that dog. I hope the camera's picking this up. There we go. He's missing his tail, isn't he? So let's see, what side is his tail going to sit? I'm going to bring his tail coming out here so you can't see where it's joined, but it's joined behind him, and I'm going to bring his tail around like this. There we go. Give it some spots as well. There we go. That's your lap dog. Now, to finish my drawings, what I do is I use black ink to add an extra layer of darkness over all those spots and those ears, and I give him some shading. So I think about where the light is coming. If the light was coming from here, I would shade this side. Okay, so here his legs blocking out some of the light. So I would just do a little bit of shading there, and a bit of shading there. So I would think about wherever the light can't get to. So if the light's coming from here, this leg and this leg are going to block it out a little bit. There's going to be a bit of shading on the side there. I usually use a paintbrush and some watery ink to do this. And this just helps him to look a bit more 3D, a bit less flat on the page. And then I make sure I put him onto something. So at the moment he's floating in thin air, isn't he? So I would always make sure maybe he's sitting on the grass, sitting on the carpet, sitting on a patio. So I draw in whatever he's on and start to give him a background, sort of shade beneath him, so we know where he's sat. There we go. So that's that dog. I'm going to leave him up here for you. So those of you that aren't watching live can pause this and rewind and go back to any of the steps. Okay, I'd love to see some of your that dog drawings. So perhaps if you want to show them to me and you use social media or mummies or daddy's carers use it, you could tag at Emma L. Lazell or tag Story Stock Circus, and I'm sure they'll show them to me. So I'd love to see some of these lovely drawings. Oh, I can see some on the camera now for those who are streaming. Wow, fantastic. Oh, brilliant. Well done. Oh, wow, well done. I see we've got one that dog with lovely pink ears, fab. And another one on the camera there. Brilliant, very well done. We've got some amazing artists streaming along with us today. So we've got a little bit of time. So I thought what I'd do is I'll show you how I draw some of the other characters. Now I'm going to draw them in front of me here with this is what I use to create all my illustrations. It's a sort of old-fashioned method of drawing. It's a dip pen that you have to dip into black ink. So I'm going to draw on my paper a few of the other dogs in the story, and I'm going to turn it round as I go. I'm going to do them in front of me because it's a bit tricky the ink will drip if I do it on my easel. So let's have a go at one of the sausage dogs, one of Pat and Penny's stolen sausage dogs in the drawer, in the book. So I'm going to start with the nose and go up, down. Sausage dogs have long floppy ears, don't they? A bit like that dog. So here's my starting point. Oh, so I've got a nose and a long floppy ear and one big eye looking over there, and a bit of a smile. And let's draw in the first leg. To show you, I'm drawing the toes or the paws in the same way that I drew that dog. So this is where I'm at so far. You see the beginnings of a sausage dog taking shape. And then the fun bit. Oops, running out of ink there. A long, long body A pointy tail. It's taking shape. Let's add in those other 2 legs. And there we go. There we have a sausage dog. What else could we draw from that dog? Now, I don't know what this dog's called, so if anyone wants to tell me in the comments what dog breed they think this one looks like. It's a sort of scribbly, scratchy, scruffy dog that I just love to draw because it involves lots of scratching. There we go. Here's the beginnings of a head there. Scratchy, floppy ears coming down. I just love anything that lets me scribble with my dip pen and ink, and I'm really happy. And then lovely scribbly body. There we go. Oops. There we go. Let's see, who else could we draw from the book? There we go. A long floppy tail, spotty all over. Surely this is the dog for Penny, thinks Pat, but it's not, is it? Aha, I think that's all we've got time for. So I hope you've enjoyed listening. I'd love to see some more of the drawings that you've created. I hope you've enjoyed the story. And if you've got any questions about how I wrote the story, about any of the characters.
Thank you.
That's okay.
Oh, thank you so much, Emma. That was so lovely. What a really wonderful way to start the weekend with our drawings of those gorgeous dogs. And yes, if anyone's got any questions, shall they message you? Can they message you at Emma L. Lazell? Isn't that's the right tag?
Yes, that's right. At Emma L. Lazell.
Lazell. Yes.
Yeah.
One
Double
L
in the middle. Azell.
Perfect. So if everyone have a look, it'll all be on the Riverside login where you all logged in. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Thanks for joining, and send us those pictures of your dogs. It'd be really lovely to see them. Have a lovely weekend, and thank you again, Emma.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, goodbye.